Hi folks, this is Peter Boykin and I'm running for Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. You can check out my website at peterboykin.com. Driving home from work, I work third shift. I'm able to do a lot of things during the day. So I watched a debate the other day. I might have told y'all about that. But you know what? I got worried about the Republican Party. And I do understand this whole thing talking about the Uniparty. Because besides Donald Trump, I do not see much prospects on that stage for the Republicans. One thing that worried me the most was how they wanted to move past January 6th. They're like, we're more worried about January of the future than the past. And I'm like, but don't we worry about the past? Our whole America was built on the sacrifices of the people of the past. And that includes January 6th. Agree with it or don't agree with it. And if people would pay attention, during that whole year, Antifa, BLM set fire to D.C., beating people up. They weren't doing anything. The left, the police, they didn't care. Nobody cared. Chaz was going on when Trump was around. They took over the capital of Seattle. Didn't do anything about that. But all of a sudden, January 6th became what? 9/11, according to some people. It was a setup. It was a huge setup. And you've got people who are rotting in jail because of it. We have people who shouldn't be in jail because of it. But those presidential nominees up there, those people that want to be president, want to ignore it. So are they going to care about the J6 prisoners? I don't think so. They just want to move along. They don't care. They don't care. They'll kick us down, say thanks, thank you, bye, move on. Meanwhile, you got them also wanting to move on the whole election, 2020. I know they're trying to run against Donald Trump, but they don't even want to acknowledge there could be the potential of election fraud. And then you had Mike Pence who said, well, Donald Trump wanted me to suspend the Constitution. Again, using language, they always use this language of Donald Trump, and they try to make him look bad. Mike Pence had every constitutional right to suspend the Constitution, which in this case meant to not certify the votes right then, to give the states enough time to look into potential voter fraud. But no, he wouldn't. And that's why people don't like him. So, at the end of the day, there's still people out there that don't like Donald Trump, and there are people that did like Donald Trump. I had somebody message me last night and said, I would have matched $50 with your campaign, but I saw you hashtag Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump twice already, and I feel like his ego and he didn't deliver, and all the leftist type talking points have seeped into this person. And I'm like, you don't even understand the timeline of Donald Trump. He came in running when he got elected. He got so much done on his list until they started hitting him with Russiagate and Ukrainegate, 2 impeachments. But he got us some good, fine justices. But once that legislative branch lost, the Republican Party usually does lose in the midterms, they hurt his power. And it became harder for Donald Trump to fight for us. And then what? The big virus came around. And then that made it worse. And then the election. So to sit there and think that when they're going to keep doing all these convictions and all these things on Donald Trump, that we should just abandon him because, he's too much baggage. Do you not understand that they will continue this tactic with other people? Yeah, that's Uniparty speaking. So if you don't want to donate to my campaign because I'm a Donald Trump supporter, that's your prerogative. I'm always going to be a proud Donald Trump supporter because he is the best of America, period. He is the best our party can get, the best. He is the American president. And that actually unites us. And it keeps us from war. So, I'm worried. I'm worried about the Uniparty people. And I'm going to tell you the truth, look, I got opponents who's posting things, and I don't know when the Republican Party or the Conservative Party or whatever is posting things that are going against our civil liberties. However, Haverman just posted that when did legalizing marijuana and legalizing gambling and helping people who are able-bodied to get welfare from the government, when did that become conservative principles in North Carolina? Now let's break that down. So first, marijuana. Okay, in Virginia, they have semi-legalized marijuana. They will not punish you for having a small amount or having it in your possession, but they will still control it as in, the use of it. And to me is, if you're not throwing people in jail for marijuana use, and other things, then you can go after harder drugs like fentanyl. That's what's more important, to go after the hard drugs and to help people out and have less people going into jail over stupid things. Meanwhile, you've got the gambling. In Danville, Virginia, they just opened a tent casino. Meanwhile, they haven't been open more than 6 months, and they have already donated millions of dollars to the local college and charities. And there's millions of dollars of stipends going to the city that they're going to use for long-term projects. So, again, that's helping Virginia. And why shouldn't North Carolina take advantage of that? Now, the other big issue was, and I kind of agree, able-bodied people should be out there working. But to say that able-bodied people shouldn't be able to get health care, government-funded health care, is preposterous. Because health care costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money. And meanwhile, our bills are going up. We are living through the silent depression, folks. This is the silent depression. I posted a video the other day, and they said if you calculated the numbers of what's going on now and the Great Depression, we're actually worse off right now than we are during the Great Depression, but we don't even realize it. So you want to put on top of that health care. Government-funded subsidies to help us pay for health care keeps people healthy. So people are working, and not everybody can afford health care, and not everybody has great jobs to afford health care, and a lot of people on the health care are hardworking Americans. So I'm kind of worried about that. And like I answered him, do you want people sick? Because that's the reason why people are healthy, because they're finally getting health care. They're not picking food over health or rent over health. So we got to think about that. So we got to think about what conservative principles are. That's life, liberty, equality, justice, freedom, not restrictions. And I'm worried about the Republicans who want to restrict. There's a very popular song out right now called "The Rich Man North of Richmond." And he talks about how the government's kicking us down, the rich people, the Uniparty, pretty much. The singer of that got kind of chuckled, and he's kind of told Fox News, I don't know what y'all think this is the Republican Party, because I'm talking about all the politicians, both the right and the left. They're all responsible. And he said, I wrote that about those people that were on stage, the Republican convention, because they showed his song during the Republican convention. And that's the point. You've got politicians, right or left, who want to restrict what we can do and our liberties, and don't have a problem kicking us down, because they live in this weird fantasy world that everybody should be able to just pull themselves from the bootstraps and pay for all their bills. Especially the more money you have and the more stable you are, the less you are connected, and you become disconnected from the real world and real working class. So I say to Hal, while you drive around in your fancy RV and spending $200,000 so far this year on gas and food, on a gas-guzzling RV to campaign, when I can run around in my A to B car and campaign as much as I can. You need to be connected. Now here's speaking of somebody else who's probably not connected. We got another guy who just tried to join the race. He dumped $1 million into this election. Will he be beholden to the American citizens, or does he have his own agenda? I question that. And that's why I'm going to continue doing these videos. I'm going to continue connecting to you and the voter and letting you know my opinion. I've been doing this for years. And I feel like that I have the opportunity to be the lieutenant governor. I consider it a job. I consider working for you, the citizen. And it's a paycheck at the end of the day. And I want to do a good job. And I'm doing a great job. And I want to improve things. And that's what I want to do. And I think I can do that through that office. I can do it for any office, but it would be nice to have lieutenant governor. So check out peterboykin.com. I will continue these videos. God bless everybody. Peace.